But if it's too far All right, before Brian starts, welcome to Unity on the River this morning. And we are living the one love, one world. Here we go.
We are one, 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 we are one. In this world of constant changing, all our lives are rearranging now. All the struggle, all the pain, a part of what we call the game, and harmony calls my name. Things don't have to stay the same. Peace on earth, goodwill to men can happen once again. We are one love. We are one. Put your hands together now, every boy and every girl. We are one love. We are one world. Take some time to help your brother, and then you'll understand. One love, one world. One love, one world. I search for reasons for the ever-changing seasons now. All the heartache, all the shame, a part of what we're all the same, and harmony in our lives, peace and love and sacrifice. We all need to lend a hand, a brotherhood of man. We are one love. We are one world. Put your hands together now, every boy and every girl. We are one love. We are one world. Take some time to help your neighbor, and then you'll understand. One love, one world. One love, one world. Put your hand in mine. Oh, stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. Let your spirit shine. Oh, stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. Put your hand in mine. Oh, stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. Let's sing one more time. We are one world. We are one world. Put your hands together now, every boy and every girl. We are one love. We are one world. Take some time to help your neighbor, and then you'll understand. One love, one world. One love, one world.
Idea. One love, one world. I like that. Lenny Taylor is going to join us today down by the riverside. Clap, sing, dance, have a ball.
Happy Sunday, everybody. Always wonderful to come here and have the opportunity to lay down things that no longer serve here at Unity on the River. And I invite you all to do the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna lay down my burden down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. I'm gonna lay down this burden down by the riverside. I ain't gonna study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. 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 I'm gonna put on my long white robe here by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. I'm gonna put on my long white robe down by the riverside. I ain't gonna study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. 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 I'm gonna lay down my sword and shield down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. I'm gonna lay down my sword and shield down by the riverside, and I ain't gonna study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Keep it up.
All right, gang, if you are comfortable standing and joining the hand of the person next to you, this is our congregational song called Surely the Presence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I can feel God's mighty power and God's Let us pray. So I invite us to take a deep centering breath. Allow our attention to become fully present here to this moment and to each other. As we center here now, we center in that truth that we sang about, we are one. We are one in consciousness, which is the consciousness of the one power and the one presence we call God. All that is. And today we come together to remember that, to reconnect with that, to lay down all the distractions and the things that pull us away from that. Laid down by that river of flowing truth, that indeed we are one, we are the living embodiment of the one power and the one presence we call God. And we are grateful. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen and amen. You may be seated. Good morning, everyone. If we've not met before, my name is Reverend Ogun. I'm the senior minister here at Unity on the River, and I want to welcome you to another beautiful Celebration Sunday service. Today, I am a walk-in advertisement for the prayer chaplains. We're the prayer chaplains. Y'all usually stand later, but stand now. Apparently, we all wearing the same shirts, and I had to. I am acknowledging that I am part of the dress code. The prayer chaplains. Thank you, guys. The prayer chaplains have new shirts for sale. Oh, 1 and 2, y'all turn around. This is perfect. So Larry's got the new shirt, and Nan's got the not as new shirt, right? And you're thinking, well, I got the old shirt. Why should I get the new shirt? Well, one, different color, you know. And when people say, hey, that's so cool, where'd you get that? You say, at my church, Unity on the River. We got the logo now, which is not present on the old shirt. Okay, so that's an upgrade. And as we know from all of us who have cell phones and computers, upgrades, good, right? There we go. So I invite you, when service is over, bookstore, or maybe out in our meditation garden where we have in our volunteer appreciation cookout, get yourself a new shirt today. David didn't get a new shirt yet, but I know David will be getting one, right? He's like, oh no. I hope so. You hope so. This too can be yours for low cost of $25, right? Is that right, Prayer Chaplain?
Can I have yours?
No, you cannot. No, you cannot. I give in love, but not in clothing. David is going to facilitate our service for us today. Thank you, David.
Thank you, Ogun. I'm David Tompkinson. It's my privilege to be here and facilitate for Ogun this morning. Oh, it's been a busy summer. Many Sundays I haven't been able to be here. Have you noticed something different in the air in the morning? And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. Who wrote that song? Michael, you read. Joni Mitchell. Seasons are going round and round. Let's say good morning to our live streamers who are out there. Hello, welcome. Love to have you join us. We also would like to welcome anyone who is here for the first time with us. We just want to honor you. We have a flower we want to give you and a welcome packet. So raise your hands. That'd be great so we can come to you. And if you take the flower with you into the bookstore, you'll get a 10% discount today. And we have information about our church out there at the Resource Center. Somebody will be there. Okay. Follow the script. Our church, Unity on the River, is a center of celebration, transformation, inspiration, spirit-centeredness, oneness, and joy. So please hold these truths in your mind as we say our mission statement together. We are a vibrant spiritual community that celebrates the presence in all and awakens humanity to its divinity. And our vision statement, centered in love, we joyously co-create a world of oneness, peace, and harmony. Have a few brief announcements. First, today is Volunteer Appreciation Day, thus the purple t-shirts. And we're going to have a little celebration and food out by the meditation garden. So we're not going to have food over in the fellowship hall, but outside after we meet. Also, Ricky Byers. Ricky Byers is one heck of a songwriter and singer, and she will be having a concert here on September 5th. Get your tickets at the bookstore today. They're selling out. The Q Process Workshop with Gary Simmons, Dr. Gary Simmons. Tickets are available in the bookstore. I took a one-week course with he and his wife at Unity Village a number of years ago. This guy's the real deal. Come and sign up for this, and you'll be learning quite a bit about the Q process. Also, coming up, the World Day of Prayer, September 12th and 13th. It's a beautiful time to go inside and come here and participate in the chain of prayers that we have with everybody coming and bringing their presence here and love and meditation. This is our time of namaste, where we greet each other in peace. Just look into the eyes of people around you and say, namaste, I see the spirit in you, the God in me connects with the God in you, okay?
She didn't know it when they brushed across her soul, a faint remembering, powerful and old, a dream forgotten long ago and far, eyes turned inward to search among the stars. And if you look into the night sky, you can see the Big Dipper shining. And if you open up your mind's eye, you can see my reflection. And if you can touch the place where time and space are mere illusion, you'll know that tomorrow always comes. Be mindful what you're dreaming. The choice is always ours to make. Are we awake or sleeping? And pray to God to give us light, and to walk beside us as we leap on faith into the night, with just the stars to guide us. And if you look into the night sky, you can see the big dipper shining. And if you open up your mind's eye, you can see my reflection. And if you can touch the place where time and space are mere illusion, you'll know that tomorrow always comes. Tomorrow always comes. Tomorrow always.
Lenny Taylor. Beautiful, I love that.
Oh, turn that on. In the announcements, David shared about the Q process and Gary Simmons coming to work with us. You've seen flyers. We've spoken about it before. I want to share a brief video of other people around the country who've taken this process and their responses to it. And I think this is so timely. You know, this we say there are no accidents in this universe. I believe his visit here is really timely, and I'll share a little bit about that first. But let's do the video. Can we bring the lights down as well while the video's playing?
Never seen a process be so revealing, and having been a social worker for 4 years and done so many other trainings, I believe this has been one of the most profound experiences. I have found in this Pew process a person that was largely lost in my life, and it's caused me to laugh and to cry and to unabashedly love. The whole universe is yours.
I think I just kind of went into it with just with the claims that I'd heard about it. I went to the website and I looked at what was behind it, the science and quantum physics and neuroscience and truth principles and all those things. And I knew all had sort of connections to breakthrough and to higher consciousness.
No, we're not making it up. It's actually real. It's not therapy. It's not touchy-feely. It's not. It's like real science.
Whereas before, the conversation, was about what the problem was, which is, so the external problem. That still goes on, but then there's also, it doesn't end there. There's for most of us who really have taken this on and taken it with sincerity and see it as really being profoundly effective. Then there's another conversation that has to do with this is something that I need to look at and see what of me is causing this to be a problem.
What this process has taught me to do is, yes, look at the past, but just stay really present and know that the future can be different and will be different if I just stay present.
The biggest thing that I've got out of this was the ability to realize where my triggers were and to address those right out of the gate, so that going forward I don't have those same kind of triggers. And it was really awesome having my son participate in this exercise with me.
I have an aspect, I have now a tool and a understanding about myself and other people. So I truly am very grateful for this.
I was surprised that I did it. I was surprised that every night, it was by the end of the week, it was our routine. Oh, it's 9:30. Okay, stop what we're doing because we're doing the Q process. And so that was nice.
Yeah, I often wonder how any of us have lived this long with all these triggers that we've, and the error beliefs that we adopt along the way in these small ways. So just very, very grateful.
I had this experience and started this work before I ever became a parent, because I think I could have been a better job of parenting if I had dealt with my own issues first.
Whenever Patrick calls me out, I call Patrick out. It's a good process.
I do feel so much lighter, and resentment has disappeared, and I just I don't know, I find it very, very helpful in relationship to just let it go and remain present.
Like, why am I telling myself that I'm not good enough? Like, why am I telling myself that I'm not loved?
Do the Q. Just do it. Just do it.
The benefit was beyond anything that I could have imagined could have happened that quickly.
It's been very, very effective, and this really bodes well for our future. It really empowers us to stay the course of something bigger and grander for us, and not have it fall apart because we can't play together.
Love. Do the Q. Just do it. Love. Do the Q. Just do it. Just do it. Just do it.
Just do it. The thing that stood out for me in the video is when one gentleman said, talked about his triggers. When he's triggered, now he has a tool he can use to work with those triggers. And we all get triggered. The last couple weeks, the biggest trigger for me going out in the world was that report about the Catholic priest in Pennsylvania. That made me feel a lot of things, predominantly anger. And in seminary, they say to us ministerial students, never talk about a thing until you've done your own work and worked through it. They're like, we don't want you as ministers up on the pulpit, basically, sliming your stuff over everybody. Work through your own issues first. And when I thought about that in this regard, I was like, well, by the time I work through my issues around this and talk about it, it's gonna be too late. It's gonna be a few years down the road, I am sure, because I know I'll be working on this for a while. I got angry on a lot of levels. First as a parent, to imagine, my child being entrusted to what should be, I guess, spiritually responsible adults to be hurt in this way. So as a parent, I was angry. As a minister, I was angry. I was angry because the church, spiritual community, is to be a place where you go to find comfort and healing for your wounds, not have new wounds created. Where you go for inspiration, not devastation. And we are all churches, because we are church, we get the brunt of some of that anger too. You hear from people, this is why you don't go to church. This is why you can't trust priests and ministers and pastors. They're just like all the rest of us. This is why we stay away from church. This is why we can't trust church anymore. And that hurts me because, well, we're a church. I have been involved in a church probably before I can remember. And churches, and I love being in church and in spiritual community. And I know church still plays an invaluable role in my life and the lives of each and every one of you sitting here, those watching online, even beyond. So it hurt me from that perspective as well. It hurt me also because there's not going to be a whole lot of justice for the perpetrators of these crimes. There were 300 priests. This abuse went as far back as the 40s. The issue is some of them have died, a lot of them have died already, and because of the laws in Pennsylvania, the statute of limitations has run out on bringing case. Do you know how many priests, as a result of this are actually being criminally prosecuted too. Right? So that stoked the anger. And it's not that I can say if they don't get justice in this world, they're going to get justice in the next, because I'm in unity. I don't believe in hell. So it's like, well, damn. I don't even get solace in that, right? For just a moment, I was like, well, shoot, let me go back to my evangelical upbringing, so at least I could find some kind, you get what I'm saying? So there's all this anger, sense of betrayal. I know many of you here grew up in the Catholic Church. And chances are, if you did, and you have family who did, Boston went through this. Now there's talks of every state doing these kinds of investigations now. So if you used to go to the Catholic Church and the theology stopped working for you, but you might still have some kind of, fond memories, feelings of sense of connection, this is even painful, probably even more painful for you as well. And chances are, because of statistics, you may know somebody who has been a victim. So what do we do with all of this? What do we do with this? How do we respond? So there's two levels you respond at: the human level and the spiritual level. Okay? And this is sometimes this is always the most difficult part of our spiritual journey, and as true students, to be able to first separate, but then realize the connection, realign the human and the spiritual response. I'm not going to talk about the human response today. You can go online, you can read a gazillion articles about what the church needs to do, et cetera, et cetera. How do you respond to this? How do you get help for the victims? You can go online and research that. That's not mine to do today. Mine to do today is to talk about the spiritual response to this. You might be familiar with one more maybe? Right. You heard about the Me Too movement, okay? But there was also this that came out, okay? Search the hashtags and you will see stories of people in churches across all denominations, all religions, who are victims of abuse. We're not, as an organization, churches, we're not exempt. Why? Because people are involved, okay? So again, what do we do? How do we respond? What is ours to do as spiritual beings? I believe, and I hope you do too, that the response to any issue begins at the spiritual level. Why? Because that's where everything starts. So if everything starts at the spiritual level, then you're asking yourself, well, wait, did that abuse, did that horror start there too? And this question came up last week in Ask the Minister, and I kind of addressed it, and I want to go into it some more. If you didn't see it, watch it on YouTube. Great questions, great answers. I say that humbly. It's as said as it came out of my mouth. But even before then, I used to say this thing. I used to talk about worry. I defined worry as a misuse of our power of imagination. Right. In Unity, we have this concept called the 12 powers, which is basically these 12 abilities, qualities of God that are an innate part of us. Imagination is one of them, and when we worry, we are misusing that power. To use the power of imagination properly is to see the highest and best, to see all the troubled situations around us being resolved, okay? So when we now talk about abusing someone else, whether it's verbal abuse, emotional, mental, physical, what we're doing is we're misusing our power of power. One of our 12 powers is called power. It's a little confusing, but we have 12 powers. We have faith, we have love, we have strength, judgment or discernment, there's wisdom, etc., etc. But one of them is actually called power. And the idea of power is that innate divine ability to have dominion over. To have dominion. Dominion simply means responsibility, accountability, taking care of. Dominion over. When you go back to the book of Genesis and you read that creation myth, in the story, God said to the human beings, you now have dominion over the earth. As in, you know, I put this puppy together, take care of it. All right? So, literally, we have our meditation garden. We, as a collective community, we have dominion over that. It is our responsibility and our calling to take care of it. Otherwise, what happens? Weeds, Mother Nature takes over. So, dominion. We, when we use our power of power properly, we have dominion over the thoughts and the feelings that we have before they lead to actions. Okay? Dominion over our thoughts and feelings. We are responsible for them. We can take care of them. We can readjust them, if you will. Because I don't know about you, but my thoughts and feelings seem to have a mind of their own, right? Because I know that the improper response is anger. Anger never really is an okay response. But as a human being, that's one of our natural emotions. So basically, the idea of anger happens when we're triggered in some way, and then we have a choice to exercise our power of power appropriately over those thoughts and feelings and adjust them, revisit them, have a different experience by our thoughts and feelings. And see that anger is kind of a red flag. I got angry about this thing. Why was I triggered by this thing? What is my underlying belief that was affronted because this thing happened? So we can start there. But then where do we go from there? And this is where the rubber meets the road. This is the thing that I know I'll be working on for the next few years. This is the thing that is always the journey that we're going on. This is the most difficult part, I think, of living as spiritual beings. Love and forgiveness. And I know what you're thinking. Do you expect me to love and forgive the perpetrators of those crimes? First of all, never start at the end of the story, start at the beginning. Let's rewind a little bit. First of all, anytime you are angry, get in the habit of saying, you know what's the ultimate best response? Love and forgiveness. But first, don't start at the end. Start at the beginning. The love and forgiveness is meant as a transformative agent for the anger within you. Here's why that's important. You know what they say about anger, right? It's like giving somebody else a cup of poison. You know what I'm saying. What am I trying to say here? Exactly. It's like drinking a cup of poison and expecting the other person to die. I had that noodle through in my head before things lost it right there. But this is what anger does to us. And it does it first at the spiritual level, but then because everything starts at the spiritual level, then it manifests at the physical level. And we know this from scientific research. What does anger do to our bodies? It makes us sick, breaks it down, creates the conditions for diseases. Anger is not good for us. Anger is not good for us. And I'm not even talking about the collective us. I'm going to get to that in a minute. I'm talking about the individual. Anger is not good for me. It's not good for each and every one of you. So what do we do as a transformative antidote for anger is love and forgiveness. Now, we just can't sit and feel love and forgiveness and it magically appears. If you can, good on you. Sometimes we need a more concrete tool. We need steps. We need an actual practice that we can engage in. That's where the Q process comes in. That we are having the creator of this process, Gary Simmons. Some of you are familiar with the original version of this, Live in the Art of Practice as if nothing and no one is against you. Okay, I'm glad he shortened the title because that's a mouthful, right? But it was also a title that told you what it is. Live in the art and practice. Because first of all, it is practice, but it's also an art because what do we know about art? Subjective. Is this ineffable thing that transforms us when we experience it, but for everyone it's an individual response, okay? The art and practice of living like nothing and no one is against you. This is the ultimate spiritual, I think, goal that we got to achieve as human beings. And part of that is this, love and forgiveness. Love is one of those 12 powers. Love is one of those 12 powers which our co-founder Charles Sherman defined as the great harmonizer, that thing that realizes ultimately we are all connected. We're all one and the same, which is God. At our core, at our essence, that is who we are. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago as well. So that's where that starts. So first we start with, as best as we can, loving the parts of us that got angry. Because the parts of us that got angry probably did it for a good reason. You've also heard me say this before. It's okay to be outraged, just don't get enraged. Okay? So it can be outraged, but not get enraged. And when you look up those two words in the dictionary, they almost kind of mean the same thing. But here's how I'm using them. Outraged is to be in a place of saying this injustice is not okay and cannot stand, and we need to do something about it. There's surprise, there's shock, this is what, when I use the word outrage, that's how I'm saying. There's an injustice here, it is not okay, we need to do something about it. To be enraged is to be consumed with anger. And that's not the place you want to be. Be outraged, speak out against the injustices, do what you can around them. But don't stay and be consumed by that place of anger. So we get to, and if you want to move that love first from yourself outwards, then start with the victims of these abuses. Extend to them an energy of love and compassion and comfort. Do you know one of the reasons the statute of limitations often expires on a lot of these cases? Because most adults don't report sexual abuse until they're in their 50s and 60s, especially when it happens in a church context. Because there's even more shame and more embarrassment associated with it. Feel a sense of love and compassion for them. That's how you start extending it beyond yourself. Here's the other reason why it's important to transmute that anger within you. Is because when I say we're one, there's also this thing called a collective consciousness. So we're all connected on a consciousness level, every one of us in the world, okay? And the prevailing consciousness of the people in the world is the one that kind of seeps up and manifests in the world. So if, let's boil this down. Let's say there's 100 people in this room today. There's 100 people in this room, and 80 of you all are steeped in anger, then that's the prevailing consciousness that people are going to feel when they walk in this room. Doesn't matter what the other 20 of us are feeling love and joy. If the prevalent energy of consciousness is anger, and there's 100 of us in this room and 80 of us are angry, that's the consciousness that when people walk in the room, they're going to sense and resonate with. So if we want to change what we're seeing the world manifest as, we have to shift the collective consciousness. Can I shift anyone else's consciousness? Nope. I can only shift mine. So if there's 100 of us in this room and 80 of us are feeling angry, and of those 80, 60 shift, right? That's 60 plus the original 20. Now 80 people are not feeling anger. 80 people are feeling love and connection and oneness. That's what people are going to feel when they walk in the room, because now that's the prevailing consciousness. So that's how collective consciousness works. So you are shifting this anger not just for yourself, but you're shifting it for the world as well. And you might get bogged down with this thought of, well, there's so few of us and so many of them in the world who are angry. But you know what? Rome wasn't built in a day. You've read the story of the starfish. I can go on with metaphor after metaphor after metaphor. It won't change unless you change, unless I change. That's my piece of the puzzle. That's my responsibility. That's my level of accountability. That is me properly using my power of power to have dominion and responsibility and accountability over my thoughts and feelings and how I respond to things, and therefore I am a change agent in the world. And I can't worry, and you can't worry about what anyone else is doing. It's only you. And after some time, minutes, days, months, years of practicing this, we'll get to a point where we realize we can read these stories, see these headlines, see a new report come out, and not go back to a place of being enraged and being angry. Outraged, yes, but not enraged. And when we can get to that place, that, my friends, is when we've reached forgiveness. Forgiveness is not saying what they did was okay. Forgiveness is not saying we don't find appropriate justice and hold them accountable. That's not what forgiveness is. But sometimes I think we feel we can only do that from a place of anger. No, we do that from a place of love and compassion as well, to say that we are being a voice for the victims and so that there are no more victims. We can hold others accountable from a place of love and a place of peace. We can only get there after we have the inner love and peace. Some of you might say, read those headlines, I can never forgive them. Do not think of forgiveness as directed towards an individual and absolving them of their actions. Forgiveness is a transformative process for you so that you live in that place of love and peace and contribute it to the collective consciousness. That, my friends, is the great work that we are called to as spiritual beings. And like I said, if you can sit and meditate and it happens, more power to you. Some of us, we need a concrete tool. We need a plan, we need a process. So I want to invite you to, if you have not yet decided, I'm going to attend this workshop, to reconsider it. To reconsider, how do I get that tool in my toolbox so that when I am triggered, I can transcend the anger, the betrayal, the whatever negative emotion into something a little more enlightened, first for myself, and then indeed for the collective consciousness in the world around me. We are the difference makers, people. It's us. Each and every one of us. In this church, in every Unity church, in every New Thought church, in every church period, in every country, town, city. We're the ones who get to transform this place we call planet Earth. But it only starts with us. Let's take this into meditation. So if you're comfortable, I invite you to close your eyes, take a deep breath, plant both feet on the floor, feeling the chair support you. Let's get into a state first of just mental relaxation. Follow your breath in and out and allow it to pull you into this present moment. And as we still our bodies and still our minds, let us connect with the heart. Connecting with our triggers and our feelings around our triggers. Whether they be anger, indignation, betrayal. We simply remember that beneath them all, we are the embodiment of love. Unconditional, inexhaustible love. We remember to be patient and gentle with ourselves as we connect with that love and allow it to transform any feeling that is less than love. I invite you to affirm, I release anger. I am love. I release anger. I am love. We need not think of anything specific, but we simply affirm. I release anger. I am love. For a few moments in the silence. I release anger. I am love. I release anger. I am love. I invite you to also hold this intention in your consciousness for all the names in our prayer box. All these prayer requests, all these individuals, all their situations. We affirm that there are opportunities for each and every person here to realize this truth. That they are imbued with that divine power to release the anger, to embrace the love that they are, transforming themselves and everything around them. And should you hold this for anyone in your life, even yourself, I invite you to say their names out loud now. The greatest agent of transformation lies within us. It is our divine power of power and love. And so it is. Amen.
Piano's up.
So I just invite you to just keep yourselves in that place of energy and mindfulness.
We are connected by the heart. Where do you end? Where do I start? Anything you pray for, if fear is in your way, I am here to listen to anything you need to say. Your prayer is my prayer too. Your prayer is my prayer too. Whatever you feel, I feel too. You're a part of me and I'm a part of you. Your prayer is my prayer too. My prayer too. I hear the worries that are in your way. What can I do to take your pain away? Oh, I'll help you reconnect to the voice that's deep inside. Let angels wrap you in their love. Oh, let spirit be your guide. 'Cause your prayer is my prayer too. Your prayer is my prayer too. Whatever you feel, I It's my prayer too. It's my prayer too.
Thank you. If I could just share a moment. During reflection, I was kind of taking my own little anger inventory. And I realized I'm going to be 74. And I get angry at the aging process sometimes. My body's not as nimble. My mind is not as quick. And sometimes I almost fall and I, damn. And I got to stop saying that. So I think I'm going to sign up. I think maybe there's something that this Q process has to offer me. So I want to say thank you and honor our beautiful volunteer chaplains that we have. Would you mind standing up if you can? These people are available for prayer with you after the service. In strict confidence, anything you'd like to talk about or have them pray with you, they are available after the service. Also, we have a home and hospital prayer chaplains, which we have experienced in our family, is wonderful program. Do we have any of our home and hospital chaplains here today? Oh, wonderful. Great. Yeah. They really do great work. It's part of this community, the invisible community that's here from Monday through Saturday. And your prayer requests, you can write them out and put them in our prayer box at the back, and they will be prayed over. We believe so much in the power of prayer here. It's time now to receive our tithes and offerings. Did I miss anything? I think I'm okay. So let's say together our blessing together. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
While the ushers bring the baskets forward to collect your offering, as I mentioned today, it is our Volunteer Appreciation Day. I do want to take a moment to acknowledge all of you who have in the past year volunteered in any way at our spiritual community. So if since last August you have volunteered in some capacity, whether it's one day or every day here at Unity on the River, I'd like to invite you to stand, please, so the rest of us can acknowledge you. If you volunteered in any way in the past year, please stand. Don't sit yet, don't sit yet, don't sit yet. If you notice, all of these people should be, if they don't, they should have a little green dot on them. Okay, whether it's on the name tag or their shirt. If you don't have a green dot and you're standing, make sure you get a green dot. This is so that the rest of us, when we go out to the Volunteer Appreciation Cookout, which we are all invited to, know who the last year volunteers were. And when you run into someone who's got a green dot on them, if you not happen to be wearing one, simply take a moment to thank them. Say thank you for being in service so that when I come to church on Sunday, it's still here. You may be seated. Thank you. And I don't mean that lightly. If you're ever here at, when do we pray? 9:30 a.m.? If you're here at 9:30, we have a circle that encompasses this middle row. And this morning I said, it is not an understatement or overstatement to say that this service and this community literally would not happen if it wasn't for these folks. We have I say a handful because it's about 5 staff, paid staff people. That's not enough. to make it all happen. So whether you're an usher, a greeter, a prayer chaplain, you work on the PowerPoint, the streaming, you're pulling weeds in the garden, you're helping make coffee, and by the way, all the people who were volunteers are not in here right now because some of them are actually still outside volunteering to set up for the rest of you. Yeah, my heartfelt thanks to each and every one of you. Please stick around for the celebration. You will have an opportunity to throw a ball and dunk me in the dunk tank. Consider it my act of service. Okay, let's bless the offering. We also got to have fun as a community. Can't not have fun. Plus, it might be a therapeutic way to help release some of that anger. So, if there's any reason you might have harbored any shred of anger, disappointment towards myself, now is your moment. Now is your moment. So let's take a deep breath and find a place of gratitude in our hearts for these gifts. Whether you gave here, you're a live streamer who gave online, you mailed in a check, you automatically send in a donation from your bank account. However you share of your abundance, we gratefully receive. And we return that to the Amesbury local community, to the unity movement. Continue in the flow. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen and amen. Thank you. I think you got more thank yous, David? Oh, yeah. There you go.
The Q process is a very good process that will help you with your memory defects. I left this thing up here. Okay. Yeah, we have more thank yous to so many people, actually. To the volunteers, this week we want to honor Joanne, Jane, Rena, and Tina. Rena and Tina. And our teams, our meditation garden team, our beautiful meditation garden, our folding team, live stream team, and prayer chaplain team. We also want to honor our board members. These are the people behind the curtain, keeping things moving. So please stand if you're a member of our board, and we thank you so much. Now I'm going to introduce our final song.
Lindy's going to bring us I Hear Them. Oh.
Well, as always, this has been a wonderful service, wonderful talk, and this is a beautiful song about compassion.
Where they're wandering, hear them crying out for heaven's own benevolence upon them. I hear destructive powers prevailing. I hear fools falsely hailing to the crooked wits of tyrants when they call. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all. I hear the sound of tearing pages and the roar of burning paper. All the crimes in acquisition turn to air and ash and vapor, and the rattle of the shackle far beyond emancipators, and the lowliest to gather in their stalls. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all. So while you sit and whistle Dixie with your money and your power, I can hear the flowers grow beneath the rubble of the towers. I hear leaders quit their lying, I hear babies quit their crying. I hear soldiers quit their dying one and all. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all. Hey, Keith. I hear the tender words from Zion. I hear Noah's waterfall. I hear the gentle Lamb of Judah sleeping at the feet of Buddha. And the prophets from Elijah to the old Paiutes were Boca take their places at the table when they're called. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all. I hear them all, I hear them all, I hear them all.
Lynn Taylor. Let's stay on our feet as we welcome in our youth and family ministry, walking as the... Gotta wait for more to walk over. Gotta wait for more to walk over. Here we go. Walking as the light.
Good morning. We had littles today. Lessons with littles is interesting. We talked about love and appreciation. They always have interesting things to share. And we did a great little project for all you people that donate your time and service that I heard that I'm sure you were appreciated. Come see us. There's a little basket for something for you from the littles.
Thank you. And a special thank you to those of you who did serve and work with our youth and family over the past year. This is our future of transformation here. Yeah, exactly. So there is a baby, indeed. So special thanks to you. And please know, we're always looking for volunteers to help out with our youth and family. It doesn't mean you have to give up coming to service. One Sunday a month, one Sunday a quarter, one Sunday every 6 months, whatever you can share to help bring these children up with these wonderful uni teachings. We appreciate it. Let us stand, take the hand of our neighbor, and remember, we're heading out to the back by the meditation garden for our volunteer appreciation right after service. Let there be peace on earth. The light of God surrounds us.
We are the light of God.
The love of God enfolds us.
We are the love of God.
The power of God protects us.
We are the power of God.
The presence of God watches over us.
We are the presence of God.
Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. and we are richly blessed.